Good day, everyone. Thank you for joining this workshop. This workshop is offered by Nurses Christian Fellowship, Philippines, and my name is Dawn Kapake. The Philippines grappled with two questions at the height of the COVID-19. What can NCF do for fellow Christians at this critical time? And how can we encourage colleagues, nurses, to remain in nursing and do their functions joyfully? During this extraordinary time, God showed us how to become His instruments of uplifting the spirits of fellow nurses. In this workshop, we want to share how God led NCFP and our partners to minister to frontliners in a very difficult time, how we conceptualized and executed the plan with prayer and reflection. We hope that this project, which is a collaboration of many entities, Insular Life Foundation, Rotary Club of Makati, Philippine Relief and Development Services, Hospital ng Muntinlupa, and Nurses Christian Fellowship made it possible to help these nurses. We hope that this will stir you to what we have done and do something like that in your own locality. This is a preview to the presentation and workshop. First, for some minutes, I will present what we have done, and then you will be moved to breakout groups, preferably your own national NCF, and then plenary sharing with question and answer and review after that. The aim of this workshop really is that we hope this will stir you to consider doing a similar project in your own locality, mindful of your unique circumstances. When COVID-19 was declared a pandemic in 2020, the Philippines had 409,574 cases, second only to Indonesia's 470,648 cases. It was a lot for our hospitals to accommodate, and a lot of our colleagues suffered. Exhausted nurses struggled to care for their patients. They were so fearful to get the disease, and many quit nursing because they struggled with the dangerous understaffing as well, as at that time there were about 100,000 or so that was lacking in our workforce. The country endured a second rise in infections fueled by the Delta variant, with the health department really suffering in how to distribute the different nurses all over the country. Channel News Asia Undercover exposed a system that underpays, overworks, and underprotect the nurses. This was confirmed by a nurse leader, Miss Lourdes Banaga, who says they are tired and burned out. One nurse personally summarized her experience to me and said that she wanted to do, but she could not do due to lack of strength and even resources. She said, "I was burnt out and I had compassion fatigue." Hospitals have been isolating their staff who were actively on duty to protect them from getting exposed to the virus. And so this one organization, Philippine Relief and Development Services, a Christian organization, requested NCF to craft a project that would address the needs of the staff in a holistic manner. This organization already donated a sleeping quarter for those that have been isolated while on duty. And recognizing the gifts of NCF and its capacity, they requested NCF to do that. NCF passionately and faithfully mentored nurses in all areas of life and equipped them as servant leaders engage in holistic care ministries. The project description for Basket of Love was crafted, which was a 3-month project of practical care that would equip the body, mind, and soul. And we had 30 prospective recipients. This was the team that crafted the project and monitored the implementation as well as executed the implementation. Some of us are so scattered, or all of us were so scattered from each other, living in different areas of the country, so we had to conduct our meetings via Zoom. So this is Dr. Marilyn Coladilla, who was in Las Piñas. This is Eve Luna in Dipolog City, another part of the country. Eden Parpa was in Negros. Oliver in Alabang, myself in Quezon City, and we would hold regularly 3 times a week our meetings in order to discuss about how to proceed with the different aspects of the project. The objectives of the project after our assessment are the following: assessing the needs, planning the interventions, and implementing interventions that meet supportive, instructive, and transformative strategies, and evaluate it afterwards. At the height of the pandemic, the frontliners needed an emergency sleeping facility, physically isolating them from families and others, yet still being closely connected to keep communications lines available and accessible. They also wanted to be encouraged and uplifted from the pain, suffering, and exhaustion that they encountered day by day. This is the framework of the project, our theoretical framework. It's 3-pronged, composing of supportive, which has focused on providing support for a comfortable, air-conditioned sleeping quarter, a welcome basket for each person, including PPEs when they would go into their rooms to sleep or use it, free Wi-Fi access to contact family members and still continue their duties online even while they are away, a staff available for them and others, activities or provisions that we have. So the supportive also is connected with our instructive prong. The project offered essential to the achievement of the objectives, the instruction or equipping part. These are studies on resiliency, and we had 2 retreats and 2 big webinars in order for them to teach. And 1 webinar had continuing education units approved by the Professional Regulations Commission. And hopefully, the instructive supportive will enable transformation, like the metamorphosis that happens in this, from the pupa to becoming a worm to becoming a butterfly, would happen for those who are receiving our care. So we have supportive, instructive, and transformative, affecting those who are part or recipient of the care. This is an enumeration of what we wanted to do under supportive. The Basket of Love project offered a place with ambience for socialization, fellowship, relaxation, and rest and sleep, enabling the frontliners to recover their energies after a tiring day prior to starting another round of duty. We had some reading materials for them too. This is the simple building, 1 floor with 16 bedrooms, and this is outside where there's a tree and they could have fellowship there. Air conditioned is very ample, and this is the picture of our basket ng kalinga with all its gifts. That's the framework. And this is the instructive portion, wing of it, where we have resiliency studies every Tuesdays and every Sundays, and the webinars and the retreats plus the reading materials that we offer them. Some pictures of the meetings via Zoom, because time came when we could no longer freely go and visit them, and we just have to do it online. And we were hoping that spiritually, physically, emotionally, cognitively, and creatively, the social elements to have wholeness perspective are being taught to them every week for the past 3 months. This is a picture at the opening, when we opened the emergency sleeping quarters with all the possible recipients. They're mostly in blue. These are the nurses and those who were involved not just in the administration of the hospital, but those who tried to donate for the building, and the officers of the field rads. So the team adopted Tony Horsfall and Debbie Hawker's SPECS model, where each domain, physical, spiritual, emotional, cognitive, creative, and social, was represented by an Old Testament character of Nehemiah, Elijah, David, Joseph, Ruth, and Hannah. So on Tuesdays, it was like a seminar discussing on that one particular domain, and then on a Sunday, we would connect this domain with an Old Testament character. These are some of the photos. Every Sunday for 3 months, they received dinner packages like this. In one of my visits, and this is a sample, you see the baskets that was given to them, their bed, and the room where one would go for sleep, and some samples of our meetings again. Another highlight of this strategy, as I have mentioned before, was the webinar which we offered not just to those who were using the emergency sleeping quarters, but for the whole workforce. We called it Caring for the Whole Person, the Spiritual Dimension, where we highlighted spiritual care. And this was granted accreditation by the Philippine Regulations Commission with a 2.5 continuing education units for 60 participants. We had some samples of our seminars, their speakers, Dr. Alice Banyas, of course, Miss Evelyn Luna, yours truly, Don Kapaki, and Phoebe Pendon, who were speakers of that seminar, and some of the participants. As you know, in our country, internet is quite a problem, so some cannot open really their videos, otherwise they will not be able to hear what is being talked about. And so our Sunday fellowship, we call Linggo ng Pakikipagsalamuha, which means a Sunday of fellowship. Games, listening to personal testimonies, listening to Christian songs, and devotions, mostly. So all these activities are not just activities. We were in prayer and hoping that the most important outcome, transformation of lives as recipients, were ushered into the lives of these people, of having a personal relationship with Jesus as Savior and Lord. For believers, transformation may happen because it can strengthen their faith and find refreshment, hope, and joy in what they are doing, no matter how difficult it is. And we saw that in one, Sis Lulit. It is an avenue for them to bring non-believers to a community too. And for the unbelievers, the project was a channel to witness God's love and redemptive power in action. We also created a chat group where we made ourselves really accessible to them. We sent good, sometimes verses and good words and hymns or songs that will help them. NCF members had the opportunity to share God's word and refer their frontliners to a nearby church or to one within their place of residence. We prayed and followed up friendships established among these frontliners. Now, for evaluation, this was done how we did the evaluation through a scheduled Zoom focus group discussion and some questionnaire. And these are some of the results. The Sunday fellowships made the staff joyful as they enjoyed good food and got to know each other. The webinars added to their knowledge, skills, and attitude. As we discussed a lot of things in relation to physical health, in relation to mental health, social health, and of course, spiritual health. The Bible verses shared in the group chat inspired them day after day. And so we thank the Lord for the opportunity to serve these people. Let me continue on as to what will happen in the seminar, in the workshop now. The next 20 minutes will be spent in breakout rooms composed of members of every national NCF group, if that is possible. Please choose a recorder, writer, and then a reporter. After the 20 minutes of meeting in your breakout rooms, we will come back. By the way, this will be what you need to do in your breakout rooms. What are the prevailing concerns and issues of nurses in your country? You may know of this by the newspaper, social media, radio, television, National Nurses Organization, or even what is being talked about in your hospital, or even in your own chat groups. Write this down without questioning or justifying. Issues of nurses or nursing. And then, as you share together, choose the top issues and concerns of nurses. After that, the next 5 minutes, you look at these concerns and see what the government, the church, and NCF can do about this. Pray for nurses in your country. Pray for the Lord to lead you to partners who can help execute your plans. Pray for NCF to be relevant to the current needs of nurses in your hand. So this is what you're going to do in the breakout rooms. And after that, we come together as one group and listen to the reports of the breakout groups, probably from 2 to 5 minutes, depending on the number of groups that we have, and listen as to their issues and what NCF or the church or the government can do to address these concerns. There will be a question and answer to be facilitated by Ms. Evelyn Luna, and Don Kapaki will encourage all of us in making NCF and a synthesis by Don Kapaki, so that all of us will be encouraged to make NCF relevant to our respective countries. Thank you.